afternoon, good night, wherever you are in podcast land. Brendan Cunningham, the real estate doctor here at EXP. Who's this guy? Matt Paul. They're going to talk about all the things that you were afraid to even think about in real estate. I'm going to give you the real story. All right. Last couple of weeks, we've had some interesting guests, interesting conversations. We talked about myths. We had the two long shot candidates.
Yep.
One of whom may not be such a long shot.
Yep.
The Republican fellow, James Garner, he kind of hit it out of the park here. Talked about some things that a lot of people ask about and no one seems to do anything about.
Or they don't have answers to.
And they don't have answers to. It's like, why is it that the taxes keep going up and you keep saying that they're going down?
Yeah.
Well, if the levy keeps going up and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
They're all playing the show. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
We talked about myths.
Yeah.
And I came across another myth today.
The national or local?
National.
Okay.
But local, it has no factor here at all.
Yep.
It started out with a lot of people saying, well, you know what? One of the reasons why real estate is so high right now is because all these big investors keep coming in and buying things up. So let me ask you, true or false? Are big investors buying things up?
I mean, nationally, yes.
Yes,
Yep.
They are. But how much are they buying? Give me a percentage.
Yeah, that was tough, and I couldn't even answer it.
Okay.
Now,
because what happens is we all sort of listen to these things, and after a while, you either don't question them or you just take them for granted. Mm-hmm. But it's always nice, and I can remember my statistics course and get a scratch beneath the surface and find out what they're really talking about. Yep. So when they throw out a general, like, well, the big investors are buying everything up. Are they, in fact, buying everything up? Well, they're buying a lot, but what percentage? Nationally, are you ready for this? 2.8%.
Very small.
2.8% of what is a large investor? See, you got to break it down.
Yeah, how many units?
How many units?
Right.
They have to buy at least 50 units to be considered a large investor. I would consider that a large investor.
Yeah, especially locally. Yeah.
Especially locally, man. If you got 50 units,
you're big.
Jamal probably doesn't even have 50 units.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the commercial side. I mean, we know people that have residential, 50 units, and Ryan and Sean and those guys, and they're,
okay,
it's
fine.
a lot.
Well, but Ryan and Sean, these are people that we know. They're just regular guys.
Yeah, they're real estate agents.
They're not huge investors wearing the $900 suits. I mean, they're just guys.
Yep.
So when a buyer says, well, the reason why I can buy is this, it says to me, you know what? And again, this is a judgmental call. I'll say, it's really easy to blame something else for the fact that you can't buy, because let's think about how you're thinking about this.
Exactly.
You're dropping $10 for a cup of coffee pretty much every day. You're getting those Frappuccino businesses.
Starbucks,
Yeah. So I mean, that's a car payment by the end of the month.
Yes.
That you're just swollen down with whipped cream. I love the Buffalo Bills. I watch the Buffalo Bills, but I don't have season tickets. And I understand now that if you're a season ticket holder, not only do you have to pay the price of the season tickets, about $2,000, something like that.
Well, yeah, it depends on where you sit, but it's quite a bit more in the new stadium now.
Because we also have another fee on top.
PSL, that's separate.
PSL, let's throw abbreviations out there.
Yeah.
What is it? Personal
license for the seat.
So seat license. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
So let me scam you again. And some of those fees, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, just regular guys.
The least PSL I've heard were friends of mine that have seats in the 300, and it was $3,000 a ticket. So that was the least amount. And then I've heard from people that have tickets in the lower section, $15,000 per. So that you have to pay that up front before you pay for your season tickets, which have all gone up. So yeah, you're coming out of pocket.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. This is America. You do whatever you want.
Yep.
But you're saying, I would rather do this than buy a house.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, that's what it comes down to sometimes. Or car payments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can remember 40 years ago when cars were like breaking $7,000. I don't know how people are going to afford them.
Yeah.
And then they came out with leasing, to sort of stretch it out. You can buy a more expensive car this way. But it's nothing to hear people have a $500, $600, $700
more like $1,000
or even $1,000. I think it's closer to $1,000 for a payment on your car.
Yep.
And that's lovely. You need to drive that big expensive car. That's great. But yeah, you're not thinking logically like an investor.
Yeah.
Okay. Frappuccinos are not a good investment. The Buffalo Bills, as much as I love them, they're not a good investment.
No.
I mean, they're entertainment. You're paying a lot of money for that entertainment.
Yep.
So understand that, like the cartoon used to say, "We have met the enemy, and it's us."
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know what you want to do and what's important to you.
Yep.
And if you want to continue to drop your rent, understand the rent is going to keep going up and up and up. That's not going down.
Nope.
And even if it does go down, who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
if it
rent.
does, it's not going to go down much, if it does.
So fine. So
Yep.
if it goes from 1350 to 1250, you're still dropping 15 grand a year.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I mean, 3 years you dropped almost $50,000. What are you doing?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So we try to coach people through this, but we can only do so much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And you also left out vices. There's a lot of human vices that people have
Oh,
that
you know what?
are also like,
Please. Cocaine is very expensive.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that.
Cigarettes
That was
nowadays.
never a good
I
investment.
mean, cigarettes are almost $20 a pack now, I've heard. So
Cigarettes.
I mean,
what are you doing,
yeah,
man? I mean,
I can't imagine how much you're spending a year on that. But
and it's so good for you.
yeah, right. Yeah. Longevity. But more, your point. I think if you're balancing a budget, if you're living off of a budget, you have a fixed income. There's always ways to save, and there's always things that you can cut out of that. In order to prepare yourself to have money down to buy.
Yeah, and we, it's right now. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You don't know if you can see out the window, but it's 56 degrees. There's no wind.
Nope.
It's sunny. It's a glorious fall day.
Calm before the storm.
Well, it is the calm before the storm. Yeah. In fact, I got to get my patio furniture. I hopefully
it blows away a couple of days
before it blows away.
Yep.
But yeah, there's different ways to look at this, and I always sort of think it's interesting when somebody wants to blame something. The reason why it's this, well, maybe you have some ownership of this.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a lot of times the first-time buyers, especially, which is a big part of our market, they don't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I did the first house that I bought. I had to put 30 grand into it to make it habitable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Every house I bought, I put a lot of sweat equity and money into
Sweat
it.
equity, and so that doesn't seem to be a thing today. And say, well, you don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand.
No.
Explain it to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
I get material costs have gone through the roof. I get that part, but it's still, it's you're investing in your house. So what you do in there, if it's not over the top, you're going to end up ahead if you do the work.
Yeah. And this, I thought it was interesting. I was looking at some consumer things this week, and Walmart is not my favorite store, but it's famous for being cheap.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You think Walmart cheap, but oddly enough, and they sell food. But you know who's actually less expensive for food than Walmart?
Aldi.
Aldi.
Yeah.
Aldi beats them every day of the week, and I happen to think their quality is that much better. So I say thank God for Aldi.
Yep.
But there's different ways to shop. And,
Absolutely.
And you can. Wegmans is great. Are they a lot more? They're not a lot more, but they're a little more. And so. I'm not asking people to pull in their belts, but I'm asking, think like an educated consumer. Think what's important to you. Get your ducks in a row. Now, we are now moving into the middle of the second season.
Yep.
People are still buying houses. Yes, we're still seeing competitive offers.
Quite a bit of activity. Yep.
Still seeing competitive offers. I have a guy's looking at a couple of houses in Amherst, and I think he's not going to make the cut.
Yeah, Amherst is very competitive.
He says, "Do you think?" I said, "Oh my God." He's looking to buy maybe two doubles, and they're in that 250 to 300 range, the hottest part of the market.
Yes.
He says, "Do you think they're gonna?" I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked just because there's not a lot of them.
No, there's not a lot of inventory for doubles, and usually they're north of the 300,000 if they're turnkey move-in ready.
Yeah, and these are turnkey move-in ready. I mean, beautiful. So.
Yep. There's a client of mine's looking at a double in Lockport that's at 365. That's a big number for Lockport, but it's a house built in the 90s, totally turnkey, very nice, good yard. So it's amazing how much, it's increased.
So, and the other thing is, there's going to be people that are looking to sell. Some people will want to sell and close by the end of the year.
Yep.
I have somebody who wants to do that, specifically has to close by the end of the year.
Yep.
And then, another couple of guys, they're getting their ducks in a row to think about selling in the spring, the early spring. Our spring actually starts January 15th here, believe it or not, even with the blizzards. But they have this thing sometimes called the January thaw. It doesn't thaw that much.
It hasn't in the past couple of years.
In the last couple of years, it didn't thaw at all. Like, what is this thaw business?
No.
But so a lot of people are thinking, I got to get my house ready. And it'll be interesting to see because we have an election next week.
Yep.
Depending on which way it goes, I noticed that lots of times right after elections, and especially if you have a long winter, there's a spike in real estate in the springtime because people say, "Get me out of here."
Yeah.
Get me out. It's too cold. Get me out of here. Or they'll say, "Get me out of here. I don't like the government."
Yep.
They seem to go together.
Yeah.
They just do.
Let's see if it trends this year.
Let's see if it trends
Yeah,
this year.
possible.
It could happen.
Yep.
Other things that are going on in the market out there. We still have confusion with some of the changes that have occurred with the way buyers work with agents.
Yep.
The way other agents work with other agents.
Yes.
On August 17th, not this year, but the previous year, there was a big change. And people are still making adjustments to it.
Yes.
And they will probably continue to make adjustments to it the next couple of years until the dust settles.
Yeah, and things are changing. You know, with Zillow made some changes, Compass made some changes.
There's mergers and acquisitions. Yep. That I don't want to say that kind of happens all the time. It seems to be happening more now.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially at the upper echelons.
Yep.
How does it impact locally? Not that much, I don't think.
No, not too much.
Yeah, I don't think it. And it's really a fascinating study when you look at the national picture, and then you go local. And remember, all real estate is local.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it to local, then you almost don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yep. So, well, yeah, what's going on there doesn't impact you.
No.
But
and then we did hear too. I know we mentioned on previous shows about the electric, the new changeover laws. Now,
and finally, everyone's coming out of the woodwork saying, "What is this bull crap?"
There's a lot of local Congress people and stuff.
Finally, the light bulb went off. Said, when does this happen? In like 7 weeks?
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, and what's it going to do? And I've been hearing about it a lot more, which is a good thing.
9 weeks. Yeah. But who's counting, right?
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, the electrification thing. Kudos to Dominic Cortese. He's ripping up the airwaves on Saturday mornings. God bless him. And he's talking about the absolute insanity.
He had somebody good on the show last week that was an energy specialist talking about it, and it just does not make sense.
Oh, the guy with the geothermal stuff. Which is great stuff, but it's a fortune to put in.
It's very expensive, but from every level, anybody who's more involved in the energy, especially electric than we are, is saying this is mind blowing. Doesn't make sense at any point.
Absolutely no sense. It's like you said, let me vote the stupidest people I can find.
Yep.
And you did.
Yeah. Well, and this morning I was listening to the radio when I was driving in between appointments, and Bellevue was talking about how we don't have an emergency snow removal plan right now.
I was just going to bring up the emergency snow because I remember poor Masiello in the early 2000s. It was mid-November. There was a snowstorm. He gets up there. He says, you know what? So you have to understand. He says, we have winter and we just kind of got caught with our pants down. How can you get caught with your pants down? Well, you have this thing called winter every freaking year.
Yes.
Every year it happens.
And we just had a storm in 2022.
Only killed 47 people.
Yeah, almost 50 people. Yeah. So, and now knowing that there is no plan in place, and then with that being said, with electric, during that storm, most of my neighborhood had no power for 4 days. So if you don't have plowing, you don't have, that just like
it's not safe.
No, and we had Ed Shanahan on the show, last week, and he was talking about, saying that working for the city and then starting with, working for the police department, the EMTs, the fire department, cleaning everything out so that they can get out and take care of people in need. Well, if everybody has their power out, if it's a full, blackout, what do? You can't, the backup generators that are gas driven aren't going to be able to be purchased and used anymore.
Well, what you do is you wait for the thaw, and then you go in the houses and you pull the body out.
Well, that's unfortunately what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be flip about it, but it's like, well, what are you thinking?
Where's the common sense?
Common sense.
None. Yeah,
it's out the window. Yep. Just absolutely out the window. If you have common sense, you are a genius today. You're a genius. That's all you need.
Yeah, I agree.
And so there's some weird things going on. Next week we have the election on the 4th.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. People are watching Buffalo, and they're really watching New York City.
Oh yeah,
they're really, really watching New York City. I mentioned a figure last show about escalation clauses, and there was a house that went down in Westchester. People are moving out of Manhattan already, and the Westchester market is flooded. All the surrounding suburbs. It's like you go to New Jersey, you go to Long Island, Westchester. The nearest suburbs the real estate agents are losing their minds because they can't service everybody.
Yep.
But that's where their house went $700,000 over the asking price. So let's think about that logically. What does that mean? So if you had a house in Scarsdale, and the average sale price in Scarsdale is about $1.2 million, It's a decent suburb. Okay. And it's close to the city, so it's a very attractive suburb. So if you had go $1.2 million, so you go $1.9 million.
Yeah.
It's only 700,000.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lot.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what people will do. Now, is the house worth it? It's worth what the market will bear.
Yes. Whatever somebody's willing to pay and whatever somebody's willing to sell it for, that's the market value.
And if I have more people coming into the market, it's going to drive the price up.
Well, then when that closes, that is now a comparable sale. So you just
Boom!
you blew the roof off.
Blew the roof off the rest of the market.
Yes.
So a lot of times, what happens is there's a house that's on my street, and it's sold, but we don't know the close price because they don't usually post that until after it closes. And all the neighbors are calling. You know, that's it. I can't get the answer.
Everybody's trying to,
They said because they think it's going to go lower than it should have, and that affects the surrounding neighborhood. I said, yeah, but this one over here is going to go over. So he says that'll make the adjustment. So this thing's going on in the market. We have a lot of really interesting guests over the next 6 to 7 weeks before we close out the year.
We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. It's December 18th. It'll be our 1 year that we've been doing this.
Wow.
So yeah.
Telling the real story.
Yeah. We sure have.
Yes, we don't mince words here.
No, we don't.
So, having said all that, without any further ado, do our little wrap up.
Thank you for tuning in. Please like, follow, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything that you want us to talk about on the show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
I love how he does that. And I'm Brendan Cunningham, the real estate doctor, saying adios, amigos.
Thank you.